expend capital, skill, effort, money in laboratories, making, synthesizing and discovering chemicals that other people want to take. I got no problem with that. None at all. Cheese-linctus would be an example, wouldn't it? You know, I mean, in fact, I don't mind admitting that I have taken chemicals that have come from street laboratories, right, and had the time of my fucking life, right? So I got nothing against what they're doing. But see, the way they make their big money is by patenting what they synthesize. And they can't patent marijuana, cannabis, hashish, because God or nature or some equally heavy entity got there first, right? But see, it's getting to like conspiracy theory shit, isn't it? And I fucking hate conspiracy theories. I can't entertain them in my head for too long. Probably because I was trained as a postgraduate, as a philosopher of science. Taught that if anything is untestable, it's completely unscientific bullshit. So forget about it. And conspiracy theories can't be testable, and they're usually bollocks. And well, I just wasn't happy with that. Mind, I've fallen for some conspiracy theories in my time. Not so much thinking about this, and I won't go off. Well, I did fall for one thinking about this, actually, which I don't mind admitting, because I only fell for it for about a week, okay? But, well, for a whole week, actually. For a whole week, right? For a whole week, I thought that the reason why marijuana was illegal was due to the actions of the synthetic fiber industry. I had it all worked out there, right? You know, like sometime in the 1920s, you know, these guys invent these plastics and synthetic fibers, right? Which obviously no fucker's interested in, because they can get the real stuff from plants, you know, so fuck off, you know, like. So they think, how can we make these people buy these synthetic fibers? Oh, I know. We'll pretend that hemp, marijuana, is like a devil weed or something, you know. Bad for you. Oh, yeah. Then they got to buy the plastic. You know. So what I was thinking, she thought that, fucking hell, I'm onto something now, you know, like. And I'd go out to dinner with people, and honestly, it must have been such a pain in the arse when I think of it, but it was only a week. And I said, look, you do realize, don't you, that the first sail on the first sailboat ever was made from hemp, cannabis. The first sail on the first sailboat. The first rope, cannabis. The first twine, cannabis. The first thread, cannabis. And the first paper from cannabis. The first book, cannabis. And I would get so off on it that I would say, you understand that without cannabis, there would never ever have been a single voyage of discovery, or literature, or any civilization worth a fuck. That bad one. Then suddenly woke up and thought, what the fuck am I trying to convince myself of here? That I can't smoke dope because the synthetic fiber industry doesn't want me to? Fuck 'em. In prison, okay, in prison, I did end up knowing why marijuana, cannabis, hashish is illegal. It was those fucking American Puritans. Those fuckers, right? Those brutal, barbaric, bullying bastards. Mind, I was banged up in an American prison, right? You know, and could have coloured my attitude a bit, I know, all right? But that's what I sincerely thought at the time, okay? Because see, American Puritanism, best defined, funnily enough, I think, by an American writer, Emerson. Emerson defined American Puritanism as that haunting fear that somebody, somewhere, might be happy. They don't like it, okay? Makes them itchy if you get high. Right? Now, I understand and sympathize with them, right? I fucking hate it if someone is higher than I am. Very uncomfortable in that situation. I call that feeling envy. But know that I'm a nice enough guy not to want to bring that person down. I'm just desperate for some of the same shit to get up there too. But these American Puritans, no. They don't want to get up there too. They just want to bring you down. They think there is something wrong, something evil about changing the state of your mind through chemical means. Changing the state of your mind. Maybe they don't like that. Maybe it's wrong to change the state of one's mind. Is it? Do they care about changing our state of mind? Are they doing this to protect us? I don't think so, because apparently it's quite legal for me to go to the top of Big Ben and look at the floor and think, yes, I'd like to dive head first onto that floor and change the state of my mind. I'll just check first if it's legal. Yes. I can bungee jump, I can skydive, I can hang glide, I can tear around the fucking world in a little bit of tin. But I mustn't change the state of my mind through chemicals, through drugs, because drugs are bad for you, bad for society. I know that none of you expect me to say this, right? But I have been a multi-drug user and abuser for several decades. I do know what the fuck I'm talking about. And they are right. The American Puritans are right. Drugs do make people irrational. Okay? Drugs make people irrational. Trust me, okay? Drugs do make people irrational. Especially those people who don't take them. I mean, have you heard the shit they talk? But seriously, of course, sincerely, none of the above could possibly be the reason why marijuana, cannabis, hashish is illegal. So when I got let out of prison, I could research the matter more efficiently. I could surf the net and go to university libraries and things like that, and finally found out for sure, without a doubt, precisely when, why, where, how hashish was made illegal. It was made illegal in this country, all of Europe, and most of the world in 1928. 1928. That's when that 86 million year tradition took a U-turn. Where? Funnily enough, at the only place I've ever done a whitey, right? Vienna, okay? Should have fucking realized at the time, when I should have got that subliminal message, man, there's something fucked up about this place. But, Vienna, right? At a conference entitled the League of Nations, that's the old name for the United Nations, yeah? The League of Nations Second Opium Conference. Mobile, answer it could be a dealer, mate. I don't want to get in the way of that for a fucking second. Mobiles are allowed to be answered in these sort of things. At a conference held by the League of Nations entitled the League of Nations Second Opium Conference. Now, as you might infer, the League of Nations Second Opium Conference was convened to discuss what some countries, what some members of the League of Nations thought was a problem of opium use among its immigrant populations. Basically, to summarize, a bunch